know I was shocked when I saw it too, but apparently, according to very emotionally stable people on social media, me and my friends are in control of Disney, ladies and gentlemen. Time to celebrate. Time to celebrate because we control everything now. We are the captain now, ladies and gentlemen, and I couldn't be happier about it. So here you have it in a now deleted tweet. These are the people Disney is literally catering towards. They're leading the company to a much dangerous and unprecedented future. Dun, dun, dun. Wow, that sounds so scary, ladies and gentlemen. Right here, no real criticism, just mad that gay people exist. And Disney thinks it's okay to listen to these people. So we are now in control, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, look, I have not gotten any calls from Bob Iger. I haven't gotten any calls from Kathleen Kennedy or Kevin Feige at this point in time. I'm prepared. And of course, I will give them their marching orders as soon as I hear from them and coordinate exactly what I want to see since I am in control of Disney. Although, I mean, at this point in time, if I'm that powerful, Respawn. If I could control Disney, Respawn, give me Titanfall 3 right now, okay? Titanfall 3 right now. I am ordering it. So if I'm in control of Disney, then that means I can control Respawn. So I'm going to be shutting down Apex Legends, and we're going to be focusing on Titanfall 3. That's what we want right there. Now, where does all of this nonsense come from outside of the fact that we're dealing with very, very emotionally unstable people? It comes from this report right here. Inside Out 2 required edits to avoid LGBTQ themes. The edits included making the main character, Riley, appear less gay, as well as putting special care into the relationship between Riley and Val seem as platonic as possible. A source describes it as just doing a lot of extra work to make sure that no one would potentially see them as not straight. Now, the truth of the matter is that Disney doesn't really care about anything I have to say in general. They don't care about what anyone in general has to say except for the collective general audience. That's who Disney cares about. And the general audience happens to agree with me and my friends. That's ultimately what happens. By the way, this is a very old picture anyway. Very outdated picture. There's no Ryan Kennel. Where's Ryan from RK Outpost? I mean, come on, man. What are we doing here? But ultimately, the general audience does not like any of the bullshit that Disney has been putting out recently. And Disney is finally having to recognize that. And the general audience agrees with us because we are fans. And fans, while you can't listen to 100% of everything fans have to say, you should definitely be listening and taking into account what fans are saying. And you need to take that very seriously because fans, even when they are wrong, are always coming from a good place. They are always coming from the best place possible. And if you are taking care of the foundation and then you can build storytelling on top of that, then you're going to be in a very good place. I mean, you can look at things like the Dark Knight trilogy. I love the Dark Knight trilogy. Christopher Nolan took his own creative liberties within that movie, but he didn't lose the core of what Batman and Gotham was, and that's one of the main reasons why people love it so much. He did take plenty of liberties, and it's okay to take liberties. It's okay to do those things, but you need to have the fans and the source material at the core of what you're doing, and Disney has not been doing that. And fans have been well ahead of the curve. Fans have been saying, hey, this is not in any way, shape, or form representative of the source material at all. They are abandoning it. They are taking the source material because it has a following, and they're pushing their social justice, identity politics bullshit into it, and people are tired of this. Disney doesn't even care about this shit. None of these companies care about it. This is all a big virtue signal. And now you're seeing that we were right, as we always were going to be right. So no, it's not that Disney's listening to us per se. They're listening to the general audience, and the general audience agrees with us. Asmongold actually did a video on this too. Let's watch it really quick.
And Disney spelling the coffee. I did see this. So do you remember what I said about how companies don't actually care about any of these social issues? Well, here we go. So Disney leadership has reportedly put a large part of the failure of Lightyear down to the fact that they had a same-sex kiss.
For context, Disney lost almost $150 million on Lightyear with a production and marketing budget of about $373 million and a box office of 226.
I don't think that Lightyear failed specifically because of a same-sex kiss. However, it certainly didn't help. But Lightyear had problems from the beginning, considering that no one was asking for a Lightyear movie. Secondly, no one was asking for a Lightyear movie without Tim Allen. Third, you added Chris Evans, who's not a movie star, by the way, at all. And then Chris Evans decides to attack people that were critical of it, including LGBTQ themes in a kids movie. So you just had multiple problems with this. So while the same-sex kiss is an issue for sure, I can't say that's the predominant issue, but it is definitely one of the major issues of plenty major issues as to why this movie failed and failed miserably.
Continuous notes were given to animators to make Riley come across as less gay in Inside Out. Take a look at this.
The same-sex kiss in the film,
which was briefly removed and then reinstated after an internal staff uproar. A joint statement by LGBT workers and allies of Pixar said leadership was censoring overtly gay.
LGBTQ workers and allies at Pixar said leadership was censoring overtly gay affection at a time where employees were also protesting the company's response to the Don't Say Gay bill. That right there, that's why Disney's always going to have a problem. When you have freaks like that representing you, you're going to be in trouble, man. When that is at the forefront of their creative process, you're done. It's over.
Gay affection. At the time, the employees were also protesting the company's response to Florida's Don't Say Gay bill. It is, as far as I know, a thing where leadership, they'll bring up the Lightyear specifically and say Lightyear was a financial failure because of a gay kiss in it.
In short, leadership was against having the kiss in the Lightyear movie. Employees rebelled and kept the scene. Then, right after the box office disaster, Disney forced Inside Out animators to make the protagonist seem as less gay as possible.
Because the general audience agrees with us.
Do you remember what I was saying before about, like, Disney doesn't care about any sort of, like, inclusivity or anything like that? They actually just care about money? Well, there you go. I told you guys this shit was going to happen because they never cared about any of this. They never cared about anybody's values. They don't care about anybody's identity. The only identity they care about is how much money they have in their bank. And the problem is that this is the issue that a lot of, like, artists have, is that artists think that they're in a position to tell the audience and the consumers and the market that they're wrong. You can say that, but you also can't be surprised if people still don't buy your stuff. It doesn't really matter whether you think that the product should sell well. It doesn't matter whether you think that the values that the product, you know, like holds should be pushed forward. It just won't sell well. If that happens enough times, then you're gonna be out of a fucking job.
Listen, I mean, the tide is turning, okay? But we're nowhere out of the woods yet. I mean, Agatha all along is about to release, and you saw the marketing push for that and how they can't stop talking about how it's the gayest Marvel ever. So even though The Acolyte has completely failed and they've canceled season 2, even though you're seeing things like Inside Out 2, which was the highest grossing movie of the year, by the way, and you're hearing this right here, and there's a reason, because if it would have had those LGBTQ themes in it, it would have tanked. It 100% would have tanked, no doubt about that. But the fact that they edited all of it out, and it's now the highest grossing film of the year, the tide is turning, but we are nowhere out of the woods yet. But I can feel it. You can feel it. You can see how wokeness is dying, but it's going to be a slow death because these activists and these woke freaks are intertwined in a lot of these companies, and Disney is in no way, shape, or form. We're not talking about Elon Musk here, who will just walk in the door and just fire these freaks. Bob Iger doesn't have the balls to do that, and he honestly doesn't have the power to do that. There are people at the executive level at Disney that are all about this agenda-driven bullshit. So it's going to take a while. It's good that we have so many channels out there that are willing to just be honest. It's not even about anti-woke at this point. I don't consider myself anti-woke as much as I consider myself a person that operates within the world of reality. And the world of reality is, in business, you cater to the 99% of people, not the 1% of people. That's just the reality of the situation right there. And the 1% of the people out there really want woke stuff. And the 99% of normal thinking, everyday people are sick and tired of this bullshit. That's the reality that I operate in. So thank you guys for the support. We really appreciate it here. Have a great day, and we will talk to you later.